Alright, hi YouTube, my name's Sherry, and I'm going to share with you what Harry Potter has done for my life. I just started watching Christina's videos a few weeks ago. I started watching her videos because of Mary-Kate Wiles. I've known Mary-Kate since I was born. We were long-time childhood friends, and so I've been following all of the stuff she's doing. You need to check out Squaresville and Lizzie Bennet Diaries if you haven't, which I'm sure you have, because that's how I got connected to this video and to Brie Bishop. And so I am going to talk about Harry Potter and what it's meant to me and share that with all of you in my first ever connection to YouTube. At least my first personal. Obviously I've watched YouTube a lot, but here I am participating and giving back, so this is going to be a little rough, so ride along with me. So I wanted to start out by saying, because I guess it's loyalty, I didn't start reading Harry Potter until I was 12. It was right after, well, a few months after The Prisoner of Azkaban came out. There had been all this talk, and, J.K. Rowling was getting all the attention, and Harry Potter was just exploding. And so my mom was like, "Sure, you have to read these stories. You love to read. You need to read them." And I was at that obnoxious age where anything cool, I was too cool to follow the crowd, and I just was refusing. So she sat me down and was like, "You're going to listen to this. I bought the first book. You're just going to have to sit down and deal with it." And so she starts reading, and of course, mom's pushing you to do something. You're like, "No, I don't want to." And immediately when she started reading, I was like, "I love this kid. I have to know what happens to this kid." And so it wasn't a couple pages in that I had that book out of her hand, and I was reading it, and of course she laughed, and I just gave her that roll my eyes, look, whatever, and just dug down and started reading. So I finished Sorcerer's Stone in one day, and immediately begged my mom to go buy the other two that were out. And so I read those in the first week that I started Harry Potter. So there was no slowing down when it came to Harry Potter for me. It was like all of a sudden I knew what it was, and I wanted to know everything there was to know about it. And so I was hooked from day one. It was amazing. But my loyalty will always be to the very first book that captured my heart, Ella Enchanted. I started reading it, I don't even remember how old this book is, 97, 98, somewhere around there. It's about the same time. Yeah, 97, that's what I thought. And so I read this book like 20 times. And so when Harry Potter came out, I was like, okay, my favorite is still Ella Enchanted, and I'm going to keep that as my favorite, but this is like becoming my life. Of course, in all actuality, this is my favorite standalone book, and Harry Potter is my favorite series, so I managed to make that work in my twisted Gemini brain. So all of that just to preface me talking about Harry Potter. Harry Potter's just always been there for me. Growing up, I had friends, but I was pretty good at the giving and being really nice, and I kind of got taken advantage of some, and friends moved away or whatever, I didn't have a steady best friend growing up, and so at that age where you really need a best friend, that was Harry Potter, Ron and Hermione. Their relationship just absolutely amazed me. I was completely intrigued by them and how much they cared about each other and how they grew together, and I just loved that relationship. And so about that same time, I was in middle school, and we had to write an imitation on something we liked, and I just watched the Xenon movie from Disney Channel, and so I wrote like a fan fiction sequel to that, Xenon the Sequel, which actually ended up being the name of the movie that they made when they made the sequel, so I thought of it first. And that really got me into taking characters that I loved or little things I picked up in books and just writing about them. And so I've been writing for several years, and it has been so therapeutic and amazing to see, one, give me a way to write down things that I couldn't really say or things I didn't really want to say. Two, to be able to create things that I didn't even know I knew how to create. To just go out there and say something and make something and it be amazing. And I fell in love. So without Harry Potter, I would obviously still be a reader because I was a reader since I was little, but the writing, I don't think I would have gotten attached to it like I do. I don't think that I would have realized, maybe until I was, the age I am now, in my 20s, to realize how much a part of me putting things to paper is. And so that's definitely one big way. Another way is probably my interactions with people, my understanding of relationships and loyalty. There's so much in Harry Potter that I just think helps you learn how important family is, how important friendship is. Obviously, those are huge themes, and I think that really affected me. Beyond that, it's it's indescribable. You know, my first thought, of course, with how Harry Potter affected my life would be, obviously my life right now is amazing, and Harry Potter is a huge part of that, and so it made me think, what would it be like without that? And I, immediately block off that option. I don't even want to think about what it would be like, but I know that Harry Potter has affected just about every aspect of my life. It talks a lot about, the faith and timing and sacrifice, and so I know that that's also helped me a lot in my faith and my walk with Jesus. Sometimes reading it in a way that isn't specifically right along the path of it can teach you things that you wouldn't necessarily think about, and so I know that it's affected me in the most core of my soul, and all the other aspects of my things I do for fun, things I do for work, my studying to be a teacher, so that I can share things like that with kids, and so that I can write and pay for the writing aspect, because full-time writing isn't going to work for me as a way to feed me and my husband. So that's really Harry Potter for me. Harry Potter is my best friend. He's the one I go to whenever I'm sad. I read the books. Every book has a different meaning for me. I read Prisoner of Azkaban when I just need a friend. That's my number one favorite. I can't even tell you why. I just love Sirius Black, and I love their whole relationship. And so each book I do something different. And I watch the movies at Christmas. It's my life. It's like Star Wars was for me when I was a kid. Growing up, my parents were big into Buffy and Star Wars, and this is my generation's Star Wars and Star Trek, whatever it was for your parents. This is it for me, and I can't wait to see what else I learn and grow from this as Harry Potter continues to affect me, and hopefully eventually affects my children. Gosh, they better like it. And so that's Harry Potter for me. I hope that you like this video, and I encourage you to post your own if you haven't, or comment below. I'm going to try to hook up some links to the other videos that inspired this video, so that if it's something that I talked about that you haven't seen, that you can just click on it below. So thanks for watching.